And in the wake of the Supreme Court decision that is, as Paul Lato says, the mirror image of Dred Scott, back in 1857, the Supreme Court ruled that people, specifically African Americans, were not actually people, that they were property, that they could be bought and sold and whatnot, and thought that would put an end to the whole discussion of abolition and slavery and whatnot. And, of course, ultimately that was overruled. It tragically took a civil war to do it, but it got overruled. Now, the Supreme Court in 2010 has said that property, that is a corporation, something arguably not even property, it's a legal abstraction. You can create a corporation. You don't need a building. You just sign some papers at the Secretary of State's office. Property can become a person and have First Amendment rights of free speech. So what's the logical next step? The logical next step is that corporations are going to run for public office. And in fact, one is. We have their designated human spokesperson, their pet human, on the line with us. Eric Hansel is with us. He is the spokesperson for Murray Hill Incorporated, which is going to be running. Well, Eric, first of all, welcome to the show.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
And very nice to have you with us, Eric. How does it feel to be the kind of, it's kind of a gerbil-like position, the small pet spokesperson for a giant corporation?
Well, we like to think of ourselves a little bit more than gerbils, but clearly, we were talking about politics and sort of the old-fashioned nature of politics and having to have people in certain places. That's why you have to have a human interface and have a shareholder resolution that authorized me to do that.
Okay, so you're the human interface.
Yes.
Okay, fair. That's a little better term than gerbil.
It's better than gerbil. I don't like the little cages or anything.
There you go.
Treadmills, I don't like.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of them either. So Murray Hill Incorporated, this corporation, is going to run for what?
We are looking at running for Congress, Republican primary, 8th Congressional District.
Of what state?
Maryland.
In the state of Maryland. The 8th Congressional District in the state of Maryland. Murray Hill Incorporated is going to run as the Republican candidate. Well, that makes a certain amount of sense. Republicans are very corporate friendly. What's the opposing field?
Well, there was also a tactical decision by the Republican Party. Clearly, they're more sympathetic to corporations, and also there is a Democratic incumbent in the seat now.
Right.
So challenging a Democratic primary was thought to be technically difficult.
Right.
And we want to be part of this emerging market, and we want to be able to have a chance to have a clear field. And clearly, I don't know how much more Republican a corporation can be.
Right.
So,
yeah, absolutely. Now, there's obviously a certain element of tongue-in-cheek in this, Eric Hansel, but what do you think the chances are that this corporation might actually make its way onto the ballot?
Well, we are going to pursue our options. I think the first step is we have to register to vote. We are a person. The Supreme Court, even though the decision was 5-4, I think what people have to keep in mind is all 9 justices are on record saying that corporations have First Amendment rights. The distinction between the 5 and the 4 is simply the compelling state interest to limit it. So clearly, the body of U.S. jurisprudence really sees us as corporations. Now, having said that, we still just have to register to vote. You have to be a qualified elector, so that is the first step, and we have submitted paperwork to the Montgomery County, Maryland Board of Elections to do so. Now, that has just been submitted, so we don't have any determination yet,
right.
But that's what we're doing next.
Very, very interesting. Now, doesn't that conflict somewhat with the 14th Amendment, which says that citizens of the United States have to be naturally born or naturalized?
Well, again, I think it's an interesting question, because if we have corporations, as the court has said, have First Amendment rights and other constitutional rights, it is a question that requires some definition. Clearly corporations are not born in the sense that you or I are born. We also don't have age in the sense that you and I have age. There's other issues too.
Right, but they are born when incorporation papers are signed. A corporation is brought into the world. Well,
we are examining some of the legal issues around that, but our contention is that corporations are a product of our law, and we believe corporations are as old as the statute as they are incorporated under. But again, these are things that are going to have to be worked out. For us, I think we see the logic of the Supreme Court decision is something that I think the American people need to see played out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what we're trying to do.
We're talking with Eric Hensel, the appointed spokesperson, or the what's the phrase, Eric?
Designated human.
Designated human. Thank you very much.
It's also DH. We thought, it'd be more of an American connection with baseball, but that's what it is.
There you go, the DH, the designated.
Although personally, I think that I've never been fond of the designated hitter in baseball, but
yeah, neither have I. I think it's kind of it's not
pitchers
quite
face
cheating,
batters. It's only fair.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's. But in any case, you're the designated hitter, the designated spokesperson, the designated human for the corporation Murray Hill Incorporated, which is going to be running for the United States Congress, and in New Jersey, right? You said
Maryland.
In Maryland. I'm sorry. It's in Maryland. And is there a website for this?
Yes, we are at murrayhillincforcongress.com. All one word. Just put it all together.
MurrayHillIncfor Congress.com.
That's right, and I'll get you right to our page. And sometime tomorrow we'll have our store open online, since we are a corporation.
You're a corporation. You got to sell things.
You got to sell things. We're going to have we're looking at putting on a mouse pad online for people to have, so that when they can look on the internet, when they can work on the internet on their computer, they can be reminded to tell the world what the U.S. court system believes, that corporations are people, and it'll remind them of what we're all fighting for.
Yeah. Hey, if we right now have the best money Congress can buy, why not just cut out the middlemen?
Exactly, that's what we think. That's what we believe. Just why it's sort of like the line: you can rent congressmen, you can buy senators. Why do all that? You can just be a corporation, and
right. It worked for Mussolini.
People get in the way. I think people just get in the way.
Yeah, it worked for Mussolini. It should work for us. All righty. Eric Hensel, with Murray Hill Inc., running for Congress in the state of Maryland as a corporation. Eric, the designated human. Eric, thanks a lot for dropping by.
Well, thanks for having me.
Good talking with you.